E così con un po' di musica, peraltro la stessa di 10 anni fa, il che ovviamente serve a ricordare quanto bisogno di malattie c'è al mondo, andiamo a presentare il nostro stupendo oggettino. Spegniamo, abbassiamo. Tutto questo, in realtà volevo farlo in inglese, per cui adesso switcho, io che sono multilingual, e praticamente ci dimostra il nostro PC PIC. PC PIC is a nice small computer made of a few PIC microchip, which means microchip microcontrollers. I will show you everything. This is like a basic screen that you can see, and I will boot it up again so that it can be seen from the beginning. And so yeah, looks like yeah, exactly like an IBM PC computer, because that's the way I wanted to do that. Basically we got, this is the computer overall screen. I'll try to put some light on. I already showed some picture of it, which will always be too strong in light, of course, I know. Well, anyway, this is another one. Too dark again. Okay. I know, it's gonna be complicated. Anyway, we have like 4 chips, and they are made, they are basically uh, main CPU 100 pin. Then we have an audio board, a video board, and a soft bridge, so to say, just like they used to say in the old times. And each one of these chips is dedicated to some special functions. You can see we have Wi-Fi, we have Ethernet with microchip Ethernet interface. We got USB, high-speed USB actually, first one, and then the second one. We have a PS2 interface in here, which is actually a double PS2 interface. We will talk about the characteristics later. We have a serial interface, we got a parallel interface, and then we have a VGA or composite video output bracket. Then we have a serial, high-speed serial port for serial LCD, just like this one. Then we have an audio output with its bracket, and it has like 2 audio channels, of course, one input and one SPDIF, which is digital audio, and even a possible software modem, which is basically again a serial interface. And then we have an exactly like in the old times joystick MIDI port, capable of 4 buttons for paddle, for potentiometer, and MIDI in and output. So we are back to the screen. I hope I can fix it again. It will never be easy. Anyway, so here we are. You already saw it booting up. Now I'm gonna catch the first keyboard. Just to show you. This is a keyboard. Okay, it's easy. And this is a PS2 keyboard, which is something that I prefer over the other one, which is an USB keyboard, which actually is, how would you say, smaller, we know. And yeah, basically they talk together, of course. And now I'm going caps lock on the main keyboard. Actually, there's not main keyboard. They are 2 completely equivalent keyboard, and yeah, they keep their legs in synchro and everything. So well, I just typed dir on the USB keyboard, and we can see we got dir directory, of course. Let's turn the light on, off. Okay. And so well, here we have basically everything. I wanted to start up. I hope you can read it. I hope it will show up nice in the video. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we have a basic command, just like in the, how would you say, in the old times, just like yeah, the way it used to be. And we have some commands I basically grabbed from older DOS or newer Windows command interface. Anyway, yeah, some of them are not in use yet. Some they are, just like for example ipconfig, it's a nice one. And we got 2 interfaces, so we have 2 IP. I can ping something, I can't see what I'm writing, but well, looks like I'm writing it correctly. For example, something are still missing. We have no keyboard buffer, which is something that somebody I remember at the IBM said that it would be possibly interesting for some customers, but not everybody. In the end, it was important for everybody. It actually is. It's not going to be difficult to implement, to create a keyboard buffer, but I will do that later. And then, well, let's start from the beginning. We got a nice Control Alt Del to reboot. Actually, I also added a reboot command, which is nice, so to say. So you can see basically the video board starts out with its own BIOS, and you can see it just up there for a while. It shows up, yeah, at the top, just some color running. Then the CPU boots up, and then you can see now we are having auto exec executed from the secure digital card, which is basically drive A. And as you can see, when the file is executed, the first interface has not received its own address. That's why you see media disconnected, but sorry, but a little bit later it gets into. Okay, this is just a quick one. So let's get back to the reboot and the BIOS. We got some sound. There's a buzzer on the main board. Then we talk about the audio. And anyway, I'm sorry, I forgot about the basic one. This is the reboot command. Okay. So I can hit Canch Del, and then we get through. Sorry, I was too quick. Okay, let's try again. It's funny how it exactly behaves like, yeah. Okay, then we just found a little bug when the two keyboards are connected together. Of course, something is not being tested yet. You cannot enter BIOS setup. Okay, it's gonna be easy to fix. Anyway, this is looking like more or less an old AMI American Megatrend BIOS or whatever. You can go changing many options, like boot, like what kind of hard disk you wanna have. Let's talk about the hardware. So we say, as we said, we have a secure digital slot, micro SD. Then we have a pen drive, USB stick memory. Then we are going to have a hard disk ATA IDE or a floppy disk as well. This is just for experimenting, so to say. Well, the whole computer is possibly just for experimenting anyway. And yeah, and this is all the things that we can manage from here. Then we have the two Ethernet. The high-speed USB can also work as a video capture interface. It's not going to be quite useful because the overall speed in the internal bus at the moment is quite slow, say in the range of a few microseconds for every access back and forth from the other peripherals. So well, possibly you can do much of by video interface or video capture, but anyway, it's in there. Of course, we have basic interpreter, which is something that has been done in the past from a guy from somewhere. Anyway, it's been updated and updated. Somebody has already seen my video from last winter when I was working to kind of homemade Windows system, which is something that I created actually 30 years ago. Somehow, way before way before the time Microsoft became famous. Anyway, and anyway, this is the same core with the new function, new output interface, new everything. Well, here you can do something like basic math, basic operations, write software, talk to all the board. For example, you even have a basic BIOS function which can tell you everything, like you can talk to the other board. In this case, bus number 3 is the South Bridge, function number 1 is get ID, and 0 is the only parameter for this function, and it tells you 83. 83 is ASCII for S, and this is the idea of the soft bridge, which is something that the TCU, the CPU, sorry, checks at boot just to know that everything is available. Anyway, yeah, we got basic. We can out of basic. We can load some software just in case. We have a few demo programs in here. And for example, you can go. The Secure Digital is a bit slow, especially at the end of a directory command, because it's gonna check something available space actually. We can move to the pen drive, and you can see this is quite faster and everything. We also have 3 command, something new from the newer Windows actually. This is nice as well. Yeah, of course it's also working in here, and you can see the funny names of of my directories. Well, okay, we even have, well, of course we got type, we have dump just in case. Work. Of course the screen is not so large as to accept all of these characters, but anyway it's a standard dump routine. We even have a basic headline, which is something from the old time, but actually it's gonna work. Yeah, it will be finished in the future anyway. It's in here, and yeah, we got ping, we even have net stat, just to know which ports are open and everything. We got 12 minutes now. Well, I can show you some basic software, just like this one for example. In here you can see, well, a few numbers, a few colors, a circle, a rectangle, and a line, some printout of internal timer and something more, available memory. This is just a basic piece of software, nothing too special, and well, yeah, this was like a generic demo which possibly dates to 15 years ago and is still working. I just added something. It's already even talking to the serial port possibly, and it was working a few months ago, and so well, everything should be okay. So well, what else? I can show you some music. Actually, we don't have speaker yet, but I will show you the oscilloscope and the for example, we got something which is named joy.bus, and this is showing out button and potentiometer values. Of course, there are no potentiometer connected, so basically the analog input are floating, and that's why you can see random numbers. Actually, not so random, because there's something floating in average numbers. Then if I move to this, what was the name? I can't remember now. Anyway, let me check. Anyway, I think it was a Sony. Well, kind of easy. We move to the oscilloscope, possible, and yeah. Basically we got some different waveform and different modulation. Can be either modulated in amplitude or frequency, and we have of course sinusoidal, triangular, pulses, and square wave, and so on. You can even send basic samples to the audio board. This is gonna be a little bit slow, but possibly not so slow as for audio, since 5 microseconds or so would be acceptable for playing wave files or something. We'll have another video showing up this stuff soon. Then we get back to our video monitor, sorry, and then we move to the next video, because we got 15 minutes in YouTube,